धर्मस्य सर्वधर्मस्वरूपिणे स्थापकाय च धर्मस्य सर्वधर्मस्वरूपिणे अवतारवरिष्ठाय रामकृष्णाय ते नमः। असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मामृतङ्गमय। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति। Let us bow down to Sri Ramakrishna, the embodiment of all religions, the Supreme God Incarnate. Let us pray to Him to lead us from the unreal to the real, to lead us from the darkness of ignorance to the light of knowledge, to lead us from death to immortality. Today's topic, Karma Yoga of Bhagavad Gita. It is very important for all of us to know the significance of Karma Yoga, how it is very important to understand the philosophy of this Karma Yoga, so that all the people in the world be happy and prosperous. In fact, Karma Yoga is the discipline given to the mankind by the Divine Lord, so that all people can live happily in this world. So, we need to know the meaning of Karma Yoga. We need to be very sincere in our application of the principles of Karma Yoga. So it's our primary duty to make all people know the philosophy of karma. People, since they are utterly confused about practicing religion in one way or other, the whole mankind is undergoing tremendous suffering. Violence, hatred, crime, all things are rising up. They are becoming very, very aggressive, and they are posing great danger for the sustenance of the universe itself. So, everyone has got his duty towards one's own community, one's own society, one's own country, and also to the whole world. We are all part and parcel of the whole world. Even though we may belong to different nations, we all belong to the same world. We are all in the world. Wherever we are born, wherever we are living. But it is very necessary to know the philosophy of life. Otherwise, it's difficult to sustain the life itself. People get into crisis. They can't bear the sufferings. And since they do not know philosophy, so they become victims of situations, and they end up with frustration and pain and sufferings. So, in this context, we should study what Lord Krishna has very clearly stated in the Bhagavad Gita. Sri Krishna explains in clear words the duties of the members of society, to carry out their functions and responsibilities according to the rules and regulations in which they live. Furthermore, Bhagavan explains why such duties must be performed. What benefits are gained by performing them? And what harm is caused by not doing them? So the issues of actions that lead to bondage and actions leading to salvation are discussed in great detail in Bhagavad Gita under the caption Karma Yoga. Yoga means to get united with God, to get united with the divine. So Karma Yoga is the path of action. Each yoga is a different path to reach the goal. The goal is to reach God. We should never lose sight of that. We are living the life. What for? To see God. So we perform duties just to see God. We should be able to see God. So the life is given, the duties are prescribed, and we should follow the track clearly, then everything will be wonderful. All people in the world can be happy if they really understand and apply the philosophy. The lot of understanding is required. So in this particular context, how it is very significant, the Divine Supreme has come to our level of understanding, our level of application in the form of Sri Ramakrishna. Sri Ramakrishna stands shining to the whole world. Look here, I have come to show you the path. Lord Himself has come to show us the path. It's not that we should search for Him somewhere. In fact, God is very gracious. He has come to us out of infinite grace and compassion for the whole humanity. He came to unify the whole universe. Not to divide, but to unify. All the people in the world should get united in their own way. But the underlying principle is unity. So unity in diversity, that's the first principle we should clearly understand. Never we should expect that everybody should go in one particular way. Let all the people follow different ways, but they should know they all are reaching the same goal. That's what Sri Ramakrishna is showing in his life and teachings. So the concept of incarnation has got great significance. So they do come to show us the path. So they come to control the evil forces trying to poison the world. So Sri Ramakrishna came, practiced all different religions. He practiced them truly. When he practiced Christianity, he was a true Christian. When he practiced Islam, he was a true Mohammedan. When he practiced Hinduism, he was a true Hindu. The point is, one must be true to one's own way of understanding and practicing. And then he arrived at the truth that all these religions are reaching the same point. All are going to same God. In fact, we have seen in the life of Sri Ramakrishna how Lord Christ, the form of Lord Christ, got merged into the heart of Sri Ramakrishna. How the divine form of Lord Krishna got merged into Sri Ramakrishna, and how the divine form of Sri Ramachandra got merged into him, and how he was full of Divine Mother in his heart. So, he stands here as a symbol of unification of all the religions, of all the countries, of all the nations. That is the message Swami Vivekananda gave to us, which he learned from Sri Ramakrishna very thoroughly and very clearly. So there was one message of Vivekananda in all his lectures, and that was the message of love. Love, peace and harmony. These are the principles of religion. We should not lose sight of that. We should be able to propagate this message of love, message of peace and harmony. Then it should be possible for us to control the violence and crime and hatred going on recklessly in the world today. Well, life is meant for us in so many ways. We have to learn many things through the experience. Grief comes. It's not for no reason. It comes to teach you a lesson. Suffering comes to teach a lesson. When Arjuna was down with depression, unable to perform his duty of fighting in the battle, his dearest friend Lord Krishna came to his rescue, removed all his misgivings and depression by giving him the message of Gita. First, Lord Krishna taught him about the knowledge of Atman. He told him how the man of wisdom would face his life. After hearing him, Arjuna asked the Lord, "O Lord, you have just now taught me the philosophy of Atman. If intellect is better than karma, then why is he enjoying him to karma that is so terrible?" Arjuna's doubt was reasonable and intelligent. First, Lord Krishna tacitly tells Arjuna to fight. He said to him, "Don't be an imbecile. This does not behove you. Throw away this degrading weakness and rise up." But Arjuna was depressed and could not fight. So he asked Krishna, "What am I to do? I am afflicted with the world. Tell me the method by which I can outlive this grief right now." So Sri Krishna teaches the knowledge of self. He makes him understand you are not the body, you are not the mind, you are the infinite soul that never dies and is never born. That means you are immortal in essence. You are really birthless and deathless. The moment you realize it, you will have no more pleasure or pain. People who can perceive the reality know that the unreal does not ever exist, and the reality never ceases to exist. Anything that has the nature of coming and going is considered unreal. Pleasure and pain are unreal because they come and go. So why do you worry about them? Instead of fixing yourself to the changing world, hold on to the non-changing reality, namely the Atman, the indwelling consciousness. Make the very world which is giving you so much misery now, your teacher helps you to transcend it. After giving Arjun this knowledge of Atman, then Sri Krishna says, you have just heard from me the wisdom pertaining to knowledge. It is important to know the nature of the thing. Now I am going to tell you how this special intellect is to be brought to the practical field and made to permeate your actions, turning your ordinary karma into karma yoga. If you enjoin yourself to that intellect, you can cut across the bondage of karma, and the karma you perform will not bind you. Then Lord Krishna makes him understand that he was not competent for the path of knowledge at the moment. His competency was only for karma and not for the path of knowledge. He should not leave karma and run away. He should not hanker after the result of his actions, and let not the desire for the fruit of action be the propelling force behind his actions, and he should not be inactive. So, after knowing the philosophy of life, knowledge of the self, then he advises Krishna to perform karma. It is because Arjuna was possessed with raga dvesh, likes and dislikes. As long as he has that kind of raga dvesh, likes and dislikes in his heart, the path of knowledge will not work for him. He will have to follow the path of karma in order to purify the heart. The duties are done only to purify the heart. So, when you understand philosophy of knowledge, you will cultivate equanimity, outlive pleasure and pain, and rid yourself of attachment and aversion. When you act thus, your actions will become karma yoga. If you continue to act with attachment and aversion, you will be wretched. Lord Krishna says, Buddhi yoga means karma turned into karma yoga with the help of the knowledge of Atman. In effect, by cultivating equanimity, samabuddhi. God is there, I am here. God and I must become one. This is called the yoga. Becoming one with God, union with God. So our work converted into a means of attaining God is called karma yoga. Our love and emotion turned towards attaining God is bhakti yoga. And our wisdom, intellect used as a means to reach God is jnana yoga. Ultimately, karma yoga, bhakti yoga and jnana yoga are one and one only. They are not different, really speaking. In the first chapter, there is the yoga of grief, Vishada yoga, it has a special teaching. A man is afflicted with sorrow. Say, for example, his dear child dies. Ordinarily, what do men do? They are grief-stricken for some time. As time passes, the grief becomes less and less acute, and in course of time, they are their old selves. The shock has not taught them any lesson. On the other hand, there may be another person who has to face a similar tragedy but faces it differently. He begins to think, what is this? I thought my child will outlive me and that I can have happiness from him till my death. I took his living for granted and built my plans around him. Now all of a sudden he is dead now. What I thought to be permanent has turned out to be transient. If I pin my faith on such transient objects, I am doomed to disappointment. So I must shift my vision to something higher, something which will not betray me. So by doing such discrimination, he turns Godward. He has turned his grief into Vishada yoga, a method to attain realization of God. So also anything and everything can be turned into yoga, which can set you thinking and turn you Godward. It depends upon one's spiritual development. When you are sufficiently ripe or mature and sincere, that's the time for the Guru, the spiritual master, to come and direct you, show you the way to liberation. The person who follows the path of knowledge has no attachment and clinging. So he is well happy in his renunciation of home, friends, relations, kith and kin. He is ever joyful in meditating on this Divine Supreme. He spends hours in meditation, whereas the karmi, the man who is engaged in action, is not rid of attachment and aversion. So he has to convert his actions into karma yoga and cultivate equanimity within himself. He has to outlive attachment and aversion. As he cultivates more and more equanimity, he becomes happier and happier. So the secret of happiness lies in samabhava, or absence of attachment and aversion. The example is given. Soldiers go to the front, war front. Their primary duty is to kill the enemies. Nobody considers them as murderers. Why? Because their attitude, I am just an instrument in the hands of a greater power. I am not engaging in this because of any personal likes or dislikes. Whether I am killed or they are killed, I am attached in no way. That is, I must be unattached. I have nothing to gain. On the other hand, if a soldier returns from the war front, comes back home, after some time if he kills somebody, he is immediately taken into custody and he will be tried, and most probably he will be given capital punishment. So what's the difference? Only his attitude. In the war front, he was killing many persons, but he was doing it as a karma yogi. Here, he kills only one person, yet he does it through attachment and aversion because of personal like or hatred. So, Lord Krishna tells Arjuna, your nature has been molded by your past karmas. You are a Kshatriya belonging to the warrior race. So the action you are beset with is fitted for fighting for a righteous cause. You have to protect dharma. You have to see people practice spirituality in the right way. It's your nitya karma, bounden duty. So do the very karma you are best fitted as a karma yogi. Don't think that you can have knowledge if you run away from action. At the moment you are thinking you are not interested in fighting or doing anything, just you want to renounce and get away from the battlefield, that will not do. Your action according to your nature is not only better than inaction, but it can also lead you to mukti, liberation. You will get liberated if done as karma yoga. You will have no sin committing from it. You will not be able to maintain your body or life even for a short time if you are completely, literally inactive. Not physical activity alone, but any movement is action. Thoughts being movements on the consciousness, even thinking is action. So, Krishna emphasizes to Arjuna, telling him, do your duty that you might even otherwise have performed. You did not invite the fight. It was forced upon you. Your duty as a Kshatriya is to protect dharma and destroy adharma from whatever source it emanates. When the evil force rises up, your duty is to control it. Your specific purpose is that. Here the source of adharma is your own cousin and his brothers, and in fighting against them, surely you will have to kill some of your near and dear ones. But you should not try to avoid it because it is distasteful. You should not leave the present sphere of activity because it is an unpleasant one and seems to be full of defects. Remaining in it, simply change the color of your actions by changing your attitude towards them. Whatever actions come your way, whatever duties you have to perform, do them to the best of your ability, without attachment, either to the result of the action or to your body, mind and ego. Any individual who can thus perform his actions without attachment can definitely reach the Supreme. Even if you look from the point of view of good of the world, you should keep on acting in the world as a karma yogi. If you are a perfect karma yogi, equipoise in equanimity, you become a symbol, example for others to emulate. That way you can spread goodness around you. If you can win over one soul and turn him to the path of spirituality, then you are doing the greatest good of the world. When you start on this path, relatives and friends may criticize you, they may ridicule you, they may try to pull you back to the old level. Everyone around you may try to make you the old fool again. But be firm. Once they realize that you are really sincere and serious, they will slowly start following you. Gradually, they will also evolve. That's the greatest good you can do to the world. So, he's telling Arjuna, you are a prince, noted for your chivalry, courage and skill in archery. People look up to you as an example to be followed. If you run away now, what will the people think? They will not understand your change of heart, but mistaking it to be cowardice will themselves be demoralized and will run away from the battlefield. Will that be good for the world? You are so placed that whatever you set up as a standard will be followed by the people. It is our duty now to set up the right example. Fight on as a karma yogi with equanimity and detachment. Teach them karma yoga theoretically and practically by your actions. So, this advice of Lord Krishna to Arjuna applies to each and every one of us. Each one of us is looked up to by someone or other. If you are a father or a mother, the children look upon you. If you are a master, the servant looks upon to you. You have a duty not only to yourself, but to those around you also. You must act in the world in such a way that you set an example for those around you to follow. You can see how people set either good or bad examples. A number of incidents in your daily life. Be cheerful, be smiling always. Let not your smile be born out of a temporary satiation of the senses, but let it sprout out of the inner contentment, bliss. Outlive pain and pleasure. Have equanimity and cheerfulness as your constant companions. So, this message of Karma Yoga was shown to us by the great disciples of Sri Ramakrishna. Each one, Brahmanandaji, Turiyanandaji, Abhedanandaji, starting from Swami Vivekananda, they were all masters of Karma Yoga. They were very good in meditation, and they were very good in their love and devotion and dedication. Because the philosophy was well practiced in their life, so they were giving a very good example through their activities how a really spiritual person is following the path of karma, at the same time harmonizing all the other paths. There is no conflict in him because he holds on to the principle, and the only abiding factor is love and compassion. He feels tremendous love to the whole creation, and he feels he is highly privileged to render his service in whatever way to the society, to the world. So it is this tremendous force of love and sympathy for the humanity that brought Swami Vivekananda to the West to teach the people the philosophy of life, the philosophy of spirituality, and the philosophy of peace and harmony. So it's very important for us to develop our personality and gear up to render our most sacred duties in the world. What is our real personality? Who is the real perceiver? We think it is our body, mind, intellect and the ego put together. That's our real personality. But behind the mind, behind the body, behind the intellect and behind ego, there is something else which is non-changing, non-moving. The moment we know that that is our real personality, that all other things of the world are subject to change and destruction, we have to leave the realm of body, mind and intellect and go to the witness, the perceiver within. Although the mind and the body function, behind these mind and body, there is something that supplies the power to them. That is the real perceiver. When anything happens to our body or mind, we think we are suffering. This idea, I am sick, I am blind, I am hurt, I am unhappy, etc., are all born out of our identification with body and mind. When your body is sick, investigate who is sick. Am I sick? No, the body is sick. Am I the body? No, I am not the body. The body is mine. I am that, which is the life behind the body, the possessor of the body, the perceiver within the body. Thus we have to trace it within ourselves. All karmas, actions we do are performed with the understanding that I am the body, I am the mind, and I am the intellect. As long as this way of thinking remains, we are not going to come to a state where we can put a stop to these karmas and attain liberation. When these three equipments are themselves subject to change, and that when all the things we come in contact with also are subject to change, how can we have peace that is non-changing if we identify ourselves with these equipments? So Lord Krishna deals with this ignorance and tells the real I, witness, is the inner personality. It can never associate itself with the body, mind and intellect. But man in his ignorance has a feeling as though it is associating with them, body, mind and intellect, and so works in the world with this basic misunderstanding. All people in the world act because in their body, mind and intellect there are three gunas operating, namely sattva, rajas and tamas. These gunas do not and cannot operate in the perceiver, the soul within, which is pure consciousness, unpolluted, untouched, untainted. The effect of the three gunas in the body, mind and intellect takes the form of terrible attachment to worldly things, including the body, mind and intellect. Whenever you have success or failure in your worldly dealing, you will be affected by joy and sorrow. You will be tossed about by success and failure, and the world will play with your emotions as a monkey keeper plays with this monkey. As long as these three gunas remain in us, we will remain thus and suffer. So, Krishna advises, know how to sublimate your impulses. Understand that attachment and aversion are two forces that are within us and not in the objects of the external world. The force that impels you to do wrong is desire. It is anger. They are not different. They are not two, but one and the same. Desire, when it is thwarted, when it finds an obstruction to its fulfillment, becomes anger. Suppose you give a piece of bone to a dog. It grabs it avariciously. Try to snatch it off. The dog becomes vicious. It bares its teeth upon you to bite you. This is anger, which is an expression of desire. Anger is an expression of desire when it is obstructed. Desire itself changes into anger. Anger is not born independently. Desire and hence also anger is born out of Rajoguna. Rajoguna is the understanding, I am the body, I am this mind, I am this intellect, this world is real. To get joy, I have to work in this world, move among the object of that world. In that understanding we go on working, thinking that we will get so much of joy out of our actions. Rajogun is a force that makes us extrovert and induces us to too much of physical actions. Our desire is born out of our extrovert tendencies. The desire is such an avaricious eater that the more and more you feed it, fulfill your desires, it will ask for more and more. Desire is such that it will never be satisfied however much you give way to it. Trying to satisfy yourself by accomplishing your desires is not the correct process, for you will never succeed in it. If one desire is satisfied, in its place 1,000 other desires sprout up. He who kills his desires alone is a king among men. So, Lord Krishna points out the way to control the senses. The senses are very strong. The mind being more subtle, flexible and adjustable is stronger than the senses. Higher than the mind is the buddhi, intellect. The mind collects the impression from the senses. It then arranges, rearranges and coordinates the sense perceptions and presents them as ideas. It is the intellect which discriminates, analyzes and decides that this is the right, this is wrong, and what ought to be done and what ought not to be done. It is a determining, discriminating faculty in us higher even than this buddhi, intellect, is the pure consciousness, Atman. When buddhi associates itself with the mind, and the mind in turn associates with senses, such a person goes down the bottomless abyss of self-degradation. Instead, let the buddhi associate itself with the Atman. Let it take refuge in ultimate reality. Let it analyze the world. Let it analyze the reality properly. Go on keenly thinking. Let him have satsang. Let him read good Vedantic and scriptural texts. Shift them and understand what is the truth, the reality, and the best way to realize it and attain jnana, peace and ananda. Buddhi or intellect, thus associated and engaged, will be strengthened and reinforced. With this strength, one can conquer the mind, which in turn can conquer the senses. So, Lord Krishna concludes the discussion on desire thus: Arjun, use your buddhi, intellect, to know that reality which is beyond buddhi. Thus reinforce your buddhi, control the mind and the senses. Thus alone can you destroy the otherwise unconquerable enemy, desire. In order to remove moha or attachment, which was the sole cause of Arjun's delusion, Sri Krishna taught him the imperishable nature of the Atman, the realization of which would grant him the freedom of the eternal, imbued with the spirit of non-attachment and sacrifice. The man of God vision, Sri Krishna explains to Arjun, need not engage in action. The man of God vision need not engage in action, as he has attained everything that has to be attained. He can never attach himself to the world, but he can be ever absorbed in the calm and immutable self. But to perform action for the good of the world and for the education of the masses, he is no doubt superior. Therefore, action is necessary not only for one who has attained perfection, but also for one who is striving for perfection. Sri Krishna gives the example of Janaka, the great sage king of India, who continued to rule his kingdom even after attaining God realization. Prakriti or nature is made up of the three qualities, Rajas, Tamas and Sattva. The Atman is beyond these three qualities and their functions. Only when knowledge of this fact dawns in man does he attain perfection. The Lord tells Arjun that each one should do his duty according to his nature, and that doing duty that is suited to one's nature in the right spirit of detachment will lead to perfection. So, Lord Krishna very clearly states that everyone being born in this world should engage oneself in doing right action, always connecting himself to divine source. Then you can never go wrong, and you will always have the guidance from the divine spirit. By doing actions, surrendering yourself to God, by doing actions with love and dedication, your heart gets purified. It's only in the purified heart one can have the vision of God. When a person gets the vision of God, then what happens? He feels everyone as his own, and he loves to serve the humanity. He loves to engage himself in service to the last breath of his life. He is never tired of doing work because he doesn't think anything belongs to him. He feels that everything belongs to the divine source. Himself being a part of the divine source, that source is permanent, It is ever existing. It is ever peaceful and blissful. So, engaging oneself in activities, connecting himself to divine source, one gets purified in his heart, and through the form of service, he gets real peace and happiness and understands the meaning of freedom, liberation from the bondage of worldly tendencies, worldly propensities. What are the propensities that cause bondage? Jealousy, hatred. These are the main enemies of man. Kama esha, krodha esha, rajo guna samudbhavaha, mahasano mahapapma vidhyinimiha vairinam. Mahasano mahapapma. They are so terrible. They are the bitter enemies of man. They ruin the person. So one should become aware of these enemies. So, understanding the philosophy of life in a proper way, one should engage oneself in rightful actions. That's why all the teachers have given the message to us. So we need to know and we need to propagate the spiritual ideas to the people at large. People are carried away by narrowness, bigotry and fanaticism, and it is really the greatest tragedy, irony we should say, that people are fighting and quarreling and destroying themselves in the name of religion. It is really horrible thing, and we should immediately act upon. We should see how the good forces become strong enough to control the evil forces rising up its ugly head. So everyone should try his best to cultivate moral and spiritual values in life. Cherish those ideas and practice them sincerely, honestly, always feeling that you are one with God and God is there to take care of the whole universe. Every nation, every country, all the people belong to God only. Why should there be any disharmony? It is because of ignorance. As long as there is ignorance, so long we are bound to suffer, and we can't have any idea about freedom. So real freedom means a person can move anywhere without any barrier. He can go anywhere in this universe. He feels joyful everywhere. That's the experience of freedom. So we have seen Sri Ramakrishna's life and the direct disciples, how they all showed to us the spiritual ideas in their own life, and all the teachings are available. Please go through them and practice the ideas in a very humble way. God will surely help us, and God will surely take care of the whole humanity. As Sri Krishna has said in the Gita, whenever there is terrible evil rising, trying to destroy the mankind, then God will descend in some form to control these evil forces. Let us all pray and adore God to help us to live in peace and harmony. With these words, I conclude my topic, Karma Yoga of Bhagavad Gita. Thank you very much. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavagai Tejasvinavaditamastu ma vidvishavai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat. May the Divine Lord protect us. May He nourish us. May our knowledge be truthful and enlightened. May we not hate each other. Peace, peace, peace be unto all.